Welcome in to Kicking It with the Wolverines. I am Alyssa Orange. He is head coach Kerry Castillo. And coach, it is May. This is it. This is the time. You've got 2 regular season games left before the postseason gets here, all working up to try to get to Hot Springs and win a state championship. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and go back to the 2 games that we haven't talked about yet that you guys have played since we have been here last. And first and foremost, the game with Bentonville. Man, I was following it. We had a creative there taking video and pictures, keeping us updated on my text thread. And of course, you know, I'm team Bentonville West. And so was trying to just see if you guys could break a tie. And man, another 2-2 battle with the Tigers.
It was so close. You know, we were up 2-1 with about 20 minutes left, and then they scored on a corner. And of course, you know, you can never count them out or just lose focus for an instant with a team like that. And so, yeah, another draw. But we shared points, and it was – go ahead.
Sure. No, I was going to say those hard-fought battles, though, still walk away with lessons and still learn to get you guys prepped for what could come at you during the postseason.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, we have to play games like that now. Yeah, we want those big moments. It only gets us ready for the postseason. Yeah, I mean, it's great that we do ties because, in my opinion, both teams earn that point, you know. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you walk away and there's a lot to learn still, you know, from that game, even though it's a tie. But when you share a point, you can't be really upset. You know, you had chances to win, but so did they. You know, they could just say the same thing, and we both get ready for the postseason because of it. So win-win, I guess.
Yeah, a lot to take away from it, though. I know you'd love a W instead of a T in that column for sure. But, you know, as you look at the tape and the biggest takeaways, I think the question might be, what is it going to take when it comes down to the postseason and you have to win to advance to win games like that?
Yeah. Man, so much. A lot of focus, We have some young players, and I think the more they're in that big moment, the more they get ready for the next big moment. And so I think that, you know, that's why I love playing that kind of game and playing the opponents we have in the 6A West, because when we do go to the playoffs, regardless of freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, our players have seen the big moment. They've experienced it. They've played in it. So they're no strangers to it, you know?
Yeah.
And so we just have to learn how to finish that big moment, you know? Especially when we're up.
Yeah, absolutely. And take care of business, which is exactly what you guys did against Springdale. Big 5-1 win for your girls to just not get too rattled by the situation against Bentonville and that tie 2-2, and then go in and continue to execute at a very high level against Springdale is good to see.
Yeah, it was a quick turnaround. So we played on Tuesday with BHS and then played on Thursday with Springdale, I believe it was. We played on Wednesday against BHS, played on Friday against Springdale. So very quick turnaround. And we couldn't tell. A lot of the girls, you know, hey, really sore. It's a really tough game. But they just came out and competed and played at such a high level. So creative in our play. And so cognizant of what they had to do and patient, and created the moments that we needed. Yeah, it was – we'd score more goals on Springdale than I think they've given up all year long, and had even more opportunities to score. We were able to get everyone off the bench and get them some experience. It was just a great night. We were, you know, you hear the cliche term hitting on all cylinders, but we really were.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's good to see. And, of course, you talk about being able to put up 5 goals – on the Bulldogs, 2 of them coming from Addie Sharp, 2 of them coming from Michaela.
Yeah, those 2 are creating a relationship with each other where they just always know where the other is and what they're about to do. And some of the passes, and we put some of these on our social media, some of the passes that they've been making to each other recently. and we don't see it coming. Even the coaches on the sideline, we see it made and we're like, oh my gosh, that was special, And so it's really fun to watch those two work with each other right now. And all of the other pieces around them have a hand in the goal. Those two put the final touches on it. And so it's really, you do want to say it's a team effort, because it absolutely is. It absolutely is. But those two are just I don't know, they're building that tandem rapport that you want to see footballers play with. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially here in May. How is that going to be so beneficial for you guys these next couple of weeks?
Oh gosh. It means that who do you defend? If you're our opponent and you're playing us, who do you defend first? The creativity and the quick play of an Addie Sharp or Rihanna, talking about our front three, or do you try and get somebody that can try to match the speed that Michaela has, and so it's great. It's a great problem for us.
Yeah, sure. It's a great problem for the future too, because they're just a sophomore and a freshman. So no, no big deal, right?
Yeah, right. And then some of our main assisters and passers are juniors and sophomores, and so we're getting all of those back as well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, looking forward to regular season games left in conference play. You have Fayetteville and you have Southside. When you just look about what's in front of you, how important is it as we continue to talk about this, not necessarily looking at the opponent, but what you guys can continue to do to execute on the pitch?
Yeah, it's a tough week, not just the games on the field, but it's the seniors last week. We have senior night on Friday. The playoffs are coming up, and so there are so many things that are falling onto the plates of the kids. And so for us as coaches, we have to just keep reminding them that, hey, all we have to focus on is today. And when the whistle blows, what are we going to do with that 80 minutes? And to continue to play how we play. It doesn't matter what our opponent does. It doesn't matter, the way the ball is bouncing or the weather conditions. None of that matters if we just play how we can play. And, that gives them something simple to focus on and to be grounded in is, okay, this is what we've trained all year long, through the off season, the preseason, and the in season. If I just continue to do these simple things and work together, and just focus on this 80 minutes, then tomorrow I can worry about tomorrow. And just that's the big thing for us is just taking one step at a time and trying to keep them centered on the main objective. And today it's Fayetteville. We go there tonight. So big. Yeah,
you bring up your senior class. Sure. And you bring up your senior class. Let's focus on them a little bit, because we have done a lot of focusing on your playmakers that happen to be underclassmen for the most part. How valuable have they been as you've looked back on the season to just helping continue to maintain that level of excellence and level of expectation with this program?
I love this senior class. They are such great supporters of one another, whether they're on the field or on the sideline. We had a couple of seniors come in versus Springdale and make a couple of assists with some great play there of their own. But when they weren't in, they're busy leading the sideline, and encouraging those who are on the field. And so they've been so invaluable that there's no way to express really how valuable they have been all year long, just even throughout the off season. And as the season has come, and keeping everyone focused on what our main objectives are, and primarily we had one major cultural objective to meet. And that was and the girls came up with this on their own, is to create a sisterhood. And they did that early, and they have just continued to let that flourish and help one another to help that flourish. And so that's, that to me is the most important thing. Winning that's fun, and playoffs and all that is fun, but the life lessons that they'll take away and the leadership that they have demonstrated, That's the most important thing, in my opinion. And there's no way to measure how valuable that our senior class has been when it comes to that. Yeah.
Is senior night going to be against Southside?
Is
that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
What's that going to be like, you think, for them to play their final regular season game in front of a home crowd?
I can't. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around that. One of my daughter is one of the seniors, and so it is
it's
going
a little
to be,
special for you.
that's going to be very hard. It's going to be very difficult. So we rode home together after the Springdale game, and it dawned on me, I only get one more of these, riding home from the home game, just talking about the game and how much fun she had and things like that. And so, I hope that the environment we create all the time, but especially that night, and as we celebrate them, I hope that they soak it in, that they're not consumed by the end of something, but rather everything that it gave them. Yeah. That's my hope for them.
That's awesome. We mentioned at the top of the show, it's May. How does your mentality change at all in this month, knowing that obviously it's the end of the regular season, the postseason is looming, and obviously it's all leading up to what could be a trip to Hunt Springs Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah. With the kids, and we're just as guilty, the coaches, we start looking at what's the other side of the state doing, and what are the seedings, and what does the tournament bracket look like. And I actually had a bracket on my desk, and I took it Friday. I took it and I crumpled it up and I threw it away because I'm like, I don't need to be looking at that and thinking about that right now. And even when that time comes, I don't want to have a mentality where I'm just constantly looking at it. And so we've tried to focus as a staff and to help the kids focus on, let's just worry about what we do. If we do what we're supposed to do, how we can do it and do it together, then everything will be just fine. And so that's where we're trying to keep ourselves, steering, is with that pathway and that mentality, is if we do what we're supposed to do, then we'll end up where we want to be. Yeah.
With 2 more regular season games left, as we've mentioned, what's been your favorite part of the season so far, of the regular season?
Of the regular season, watching them grow, watching them every single day get better. That's so rewarding, and not just on the field as far as the tactics go, and seeing, we've charted every game how many more goal opportunities we're creating inside the penalty area and things like that. And we show them that as a metric, like, look how much more you're creating, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But that's just a symptom of how they continue to develop every day. That's the most fun for me, and the most rewarding part is you can see it every day. Just, it's minute, but we tell them, just keep stacking good days on top of each other, and so that, to me, that's the most rewarding part. It really is.
Yeah. Well, you can see it in your face and hear it in your voice. So let's lead that straight into our favorite time of these podcasts and conversations, is our feel-good moment of the week. What you got for me, Coach?
And so keeping in mind with that and the development aspect, we were up 4-1 on Springdale Friday, and we have a freshman on our varsity team that we don't get her into games as much as we'd like to, just because in 6A West, the moment is usually really big, but we've been putting her on the 9th grade team and the varsity team to develop her, because we know the kid has all of the intangibles to be extremely good, an extremely good player. And so we just wanted her to keep developing and get more game time, so that, maybe her sophomore year, she can be starting or coming off the bench and helping us score goals on a regular basis. And so this kid has just, every time we ask her to play, she's, yes, sir, I want to play. And she works so hard in training
Yeah.
and in games, and she's been scoring a lot of goals in ninth and JV. And so we put her in against Springdale late in the game, and sure enough, she got loose and scored a goal. Annabella Foster. So yes,
That's
AV, high five,
Yeah.
AV. She earned it, and just the look on that kid's face, and the sideline went crazy. They went crazy for her, and so yeah, it was so rewarding for her, so rewarding for us to see her
Yeah.
experience the fruit of her hard work. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love moments like that. I love it. I love it. Hopefully you have a little bit more of those moments as the rest of the season, regular season kind of comes to a close and the postseason rolls on. Again, games against Fayetteville and Southside coming up to round out the regular season. While we have the platform, Coach, why should people come watch you guys?
We're exciting. We are, I mean, we're an exciting team to watch play. We're dynamic, explosive, and the way we score goals is fast paced, and we defend hard. It's sometimes it looks like a demolition derby, and so it's explosive. It can be violent, but it's beautiful at the same time. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Get out there to the soccer pitch, catch some Bentonville West soccer while you can. Coach, always thank you for the time. Always great to have you. Thank you guys for joining us here on Kicking It with the Wolverines as we've been able to cover the Bentonville West girls soccer team throughout the season and so much more to talk about in the coming weeks as well. I'm Alyssa Orange. He is Kerry Castillo, and we will see you next time.